While I was doing my undergraduation at IIT Kharagpur, in my department, the top floor was for the professors who had their offices there. And when we used to go and visit them, we used to see, there were a lot of quotes and proverbs they used to paste on their walls and on their doors. And I still remember one of the quotes posted on one of my professor's doors from the outside. It read that, give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day, but teach a man how to fish, you will feed him for a lifetime. Hello everyone, Namaste, this is Shami Harant and welcome back to Your Wealth India. So today we are going to continue our discussion on the playlist of stock market investment. So for now I think we have been covering more of basic concepts related to the theoretical aspects. So I think now it's time to jump into more practical concepts. So in today's video we are going to talk about the questions that we need to find answers to in order to make a successful trade in a stock market investment. We all know that if we buy a stock at a lower price and then sell it at a higher price, we are going to make profit out of it in the process. This is something we already talked about in our previous videos as well. But in real world things are not simple and straightforward, and if that was the case, I think everyone would have been billionaires as of now by investing in the stock market. Even though stock market is not exactly a zero sum game, but I think this is practically not possible. In case you're wondering what a zero sum game is, let me try to explain it to you with an example. Let us say two teams are competing against each other in the game of cricket. Now if one team has to win, that means that the other team has to lose. Both the teams can't win at the same time, and also both the teams can't lose at the same time. Of course there can be a draw where both of the team neither loses nor win, but both of them can't win or lose at the same time. However, in stock market that's not the case. In case you lost money in a transaction in a stock market, doesn't mean that somebody on the other side has earned equivalent amount of money, because if that was the case, then the total amount invested in stock market at any point of time during the entire course of history should have been same, which is not the case because it has been increasing over a period of time. Now let's come back to the topic about the questions that we need to answer to make a stock market investment. So the first question that one faces is which stock to buy, because there are so many companies available in the stock market that it really makes a very confusing decision. The second question that one faces is how much should I invest? Should I invest all the available amount in one particular stock, or should I divide them into some 2 or 3 equal parts and then invest accordingly into 2 or 3 stocks, or should that amount depend on the stocks that I want to purchase? The third question is when should I buy these stocks? When should I make this investment? Should I make the investment when the market prices are at low, or as many people say that any time is right time in a stock market? Now once if I make a purchase, then the fourth question that comes to mind is should I add more stocks to the existing stocks that I have bought, or should I partially sell some of the stocks from the ones that I have purchased before closing the trade completely? Fifth question is how much profit is enough? Well, whether it should depend on the amount that I invested and then base it on other performance measures like ROI or IRR and so on, or does it depend on a particular value that I am expecting to make? The sixth question and the most critical question of them all, when should I exit from this particular position? When should I sell all the stocks that I have bought? Now wouldn't it be easier and very convenient if somebody is willing to do all the hard work and is then willing to provide you with ready-made answers to all these questions, and that too free of cost? Now that is what we call as providing a tip in a stock market. In fact, most of the people who join stock market look for such tips from their friends, family or other sources like internet and so on. And in fact they go for such tips before eventually deciding to quit stock market after a few months. My suggestion to such people is instead of taking a tip from such sources and then investing in stock market, don't you think it would be better if you lend your money to such people and ask them for a fixed return, like 25% or 30% return for the money you lend them? Well, nobody in the right mind would be willing to do that for you. In fact, my opinion is that it's better to provide people with knowledge and let them decide how they want to use that knowledge in their own journey of stock market investment. While I was doing my undergraduation at IIT Kharagpur, in my department, the top floor was for the professors who had their offices there. And when we used to go and visit them, we used to see, there were a lot of quotes and proverbs they used to paste on the walls and on their doors. And I still remember one of the quotes posted on one of my professor's doors from the outside. It read that, give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day, but teach a man how to fish, you will feed him for a lifetime. This was something that kind of caught my attention back then, and I still remember it to date. And this is the same philosophy that I'm going to follow in this Your Wealth India channel. Now, I'm not going to give you ready-made answers to the questions that I have talked about earlier, but what I'll do is provide you with the knowledge, and we'll discuss the best practices being followed, the strategies that are being followed, which will help you in getting these answers for yourself. This doesn't mean, however, that you should not follow any advice given to you in terms of stock market. There are a lot of financial experts, qualified financial experts out there on the internet or on the television who are giving their advice. I think you can just follow them and take their advice anytime. In fact, I personally watch these news channels every morning, even though I don't make decisions on buy and sell based on their recommendations, but I do that to keep myself up to date with what's happening in the market and to increase my knowledge. Following expert advice from television or internet or from your broker, in fact from the mails that you get from the bank or other financial services company, is completely a personal choice. In fact, I would suggest that it would be a good practice to follow these if you are new to the stock market and you want to test the waters before you decide to jump into it. But taking financial advice on stock market from unqualified people, I would suggest is you ask them for their reasoning and then you take your own call rather than following them blindly. So when you decide to invest in a particular stock in the stock market, your plan of action needs to essentially contain answers to these 6 questions: which stock to buy, how much to buy, when to buy, how much to add or sell, what is my profit target, and when do I make an exit. And it is my suggestion that in order to find answer to these 6 questions, it's better to gain knowledge so that you can answer these 6 questions by yourself rather than you following some tips from some particular WhatsApp group or Telegram group instead. One more suggestion would be to follow the expert advice that you see on television or internet from the qualified financial analyst. So that's all for today's video, guys. I really hope that whenever you make an investment in a particular stock, you get right answers to all these 6 questions that we discussed. And if you really like the things that we discussed in today's video, please hit the like button, and if you have anything to say, put those things on the comment box, and please do subscribe to our channel. There's a lot of more exciting videos coming your way. So until next time, tata, bye bye and namaste.